This is such a heavy question. I have seen people's attitudes towards me changing. I went into my marriage with zero emotional growth. जिस दिशा में दुनिया जा रही है और जिस तरह हर जगह त्राही त्राही मच रही है, because I'm a creator, social media is not your life. I think काफी warm up हो गया.
Hi, I am Priyam. This is I Have Feelings, a podcast based on my existential crisis, where week on week I sit and get into some feelings I've been having about life and art and everything in between. And joining me on my quest for getting in touch with my feelings is content creator extraordinaire, social media queen, one of my favorite people on the internet, if not my most favorite person on the internet, Kusha Kapala's in the house.
Woohoo! This is the first time someone's used the word extraordinaire for me. I remember मैं अपने articles में वो word use करती थी.
हाँ तो हम सब की स्टार्टिंग तो करियर की कंटेंट राइटर वाली है ना तो तभी शायद तो चलो सबसे पहले हाउ दिस इज गोइंग टू गो लिटरली we are just going to be vibing, just two girls vibing for a bit. Because I've been thinking about some stuff which I feel like we do at this stage of our lives or this place in our lives. And I was wondering what your thoughts are on this. So there are no wrong answers. There are barely any questions. I'll talk a little bit, you'll talk a little bit, we'll see where this goes. So
Okay.
first up, Kusha, how are you feeling these days? Where is Mindspace at?
Mindspace is at taking it a little easy in life. Especially, I feel like I went on some kind of an overdrive in lockdown where I was just constantly churning out content, and now I'm in the middle of like shifting spaces, shifting attitude,
Mm-hmm.
shifting perspectives, and like therapy has become such an important part of my life. So like I'm not kidding. A lot of my life is planned around it,
Lovely.
and a lot of how my week goes depends on the kind of session I have on that one day of the week. That's where I'm at, and basically, yeah. Where are you at? Like, I'm sure, like, super like transient phase of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. I think same. I feel like uh literally I think as the year started 2020 for me was very very fun, honestly. Like of course it sucked for the entire world and including myself for some time, but मुझे लगा कि if I had little more access to my friends, मेरा ideal way of living था वो कि तुम घर पे बैठो जो तुम्हें करना है तुम करो. I was good like with health, mental health, routine, work was great, I made lots of money, I did some cool things. So yeah, but I feel like as 2021 started, it's not, I guess, started out just as I wanted it to start. तो मेरा भी वही चल रहा है कि चलो, what are the things you're reassessing and re-examining in your relationship with different aspects of your life? Because that's important. But I think social media generally, I'm very interested in knowing your relationship with social media because I'm assuming, is it now only a workspace? And now if it is, every now and then you as a person on the internet, there's expectation from your followers कि नहीं पर real भी दिखाओ और तुम्हारी मतलब शादी के बारे में भी जानना है हमें, अपने कुत्ता भी दिखाओ, तुम्हारी family कौन है, वो वाली expectation भी है. And now you're at some, I don't know how many million followers, but you are at some great following number. So how do you navigate that? What is your relationship with social media?
The This is such a heavy question. और पीछे तड़का भी लग रहा है, so it has the best background music.
Yeah, we're getting in touch. We're getting in touch with our feelings.
Yeah. So, my relationship with social media, thanks to 2020, I have realized that social media is not all of me. It's not 100% Kushra is not 100% social media. It is basically I have started to learn and unlearn a few things where I realize that social media is my job and not my entire whole life.
Mhm.
And that is how I navigate it now. So, when I have to like post something, when I have to think of work, when I have to think of something new to create, uh, now my interaction with social media is limited to creating for my accounts and interacting with a few people who have some good insight to give to me, and then shutting it off completely. It has become, and I had to kind of go cold turkey on that because I had this episode that I don't want to talk about at all because I'm so over it. But I
Okay.
had this little episode where I was trolled mercilessly, and then I was at the center of, this really vile attack,
Nasty.
I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And that sort of I'm somehow, in hindsight, I'm glad it happened, because that gave me so much insight as to how I have to conduct myself and I have to operate as a person creating online. And it
Mm.
also made it very clear to me that if you have chosen to take some space here, you'll have to realize that there are all kinds of opinions and all kinds of people in the world. And just because now you're coming to terms with the fact that there is a section of people that will never like your content, then that is on you.
Mm.
You have to find ways to deal with that, because there is no way you can change how people choose to interact online. You have to change how you sort of take it, and how you plan to get over it, and how long are you going to take to get over it.
That is
So
so interesting you say this, because when this episode was happening, that we are not giving any importance to, I had also done a bunch of stories sort of dedicating to you, because when you had made that video, I was just very like, oh my God, like exactly. I feel like so many times, even in, uh, you just have to be a female on the internet for you to be at the receiving end of some sort of shit. It has nothing to do with fame or if you're creating content or what you're saying. And my biggest problem with that is that हो सकता है you don't agree, you don't think funny, you think I'm stupid, all of that, mat karo follow. But the attack, which I think male creators will never really understand, is just ugly, fat,
gender
fuckable, not
attacks.
fuckable, teri aukaat dikha dunga. Like that's weird. It's very aggressive for some reason and nothing to do with what you say. So
Yeah,
at
that's
some,
super gendered. Like, I would just like to cut you here and say that's
yeah,
super gendered. Like, all
yeah,
this
yeah.
feedback is super gendered. Like, I don't mind the feedback you're not funny,
Hmm.
because it is a genuine opinion for a lot of people.
Bilkul.
And trust me, a lot of the feedback, when we get it from people, we know this is the feedback that's going to come our way, but we do it still because we know this might just be received well. So yeah.
Okay, tell me, Kusha, does aging scare you? How old are you now?
Aging to really scares me, dude. Have you seen my laugh lines? And I don't want to sound like an insecure bitch on this. But after I've crossed 30, I feel like some sort of switch has gone on or off,
Hmm.
where I genuinely look different from literally what I looked at 29 days and 360, 29 years and 364 days, and 30th year pay, something just changed in my body, in my, like, I suddenly have to start taking vitamins, I suddenly have deficiencies in my body which I never knew existed.
Talk to me about 31-year-old Kusha. Are you used to that? And how does that
कहीं और ही ले जाती हूँ, I love it.
and how does that affect your approach to work now and the work you want to do, let's say in the near future? आगे का तो किसने क्या देखा है, कुछ भी हो सकता है.
I personally think there are definitely a lot of content that I still put out.
Hmm.
I would say about like 30% of the content I still put out is not the content that a person of my age would want to put out. But I still put out for, I would say, somewhere, I would say it's a business decision. It's for
Hmm.
engagement purpose. You know, there's this perception also that now you're older, so you want to do like really smart, really like well aware content. And I think you could do that, and you could do the really silly things also.
Hmm. Of
Like, I
course.
would never want to completely for instance, for a month or so, I had this phase where I was like, I don't want to do impersonations anymore. I don't want to do it. You know, it sounds silly, it's so exaggerated, it's so over the top. And I was like, it's not me anymore,
It's
you know.
not me anymore. I've outgrown it. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I realized I will never outgrow it. It is something I started my career with. It is what people recognize me for, and they look forward to it. I could change the treatment. I could, maybe the things that are coming out of their mouths is smarter, is cooler, is maybe more current affair led. And I've done that. I've
Yeah.
done that. And my characters
Absolutely.
have spoken about, whether it was the school, whether it was the university exams, whether it was the new education policy, I spoke about all of those things
Yeah.
as my character. So it's not tough for me to do that. But somewhere, yes, I have sort of slowed down. And instead of, like, there are literally like two parts of me on the internet, where if there's long form content, I will think about it a lot. But
Hmm.
when there's a short form content like 30 seconds, as myself, i would just I would like, don't overthink it. Don't think that,
Nice.
oh my God, this shouldn't be coming from a 31-year-old. I don't think like 30-year-old, 30-year-old. Sorry
Nice.
about that.
Kusha, do you think art is political? Do you think all art is political? Slash, do you think your art is political?
My art was political. I feel up till like September, October also, I would say it was political. But then I think somewhere I have taken a step back from
Mhm.
that. Also weighing the consequences and
Yeah,
also knowing कि मेरे पास कोई PSO तो है नहीं और मेरे पास मेरे घर के बाहर चारों टाइम लोग तो तैनात नहीं है.
बिल्कुल.
The fact that you can so easily be doxxed on the internet, your private details can so easily be leaked, and people have access to you considering you share so much.
Mhm.
So definitely there is some restraint has been shown, but as you know, I have very openly been a part of political movements of protests. I have openly spoken about things like women's safety, things like gender equality. There is a great sense of fear that comes with political content, and I
Yes.
feel I have like massive respect for people who do it,
Yeah,
uh, because the consequences don't last a day. The content virality might last a day or so, the consequences last for weeks, and
absolutely.
then you're just like clearing stuff up and making sure that you're in a secure place. So that is some dissonance that I feel with myself every day. There is that conflict that I'm constantly
क्योंकि ना
talking.
मैंने पढ़ा अभी recently about art and politics, and I thought it was very interesting because they said that बिल्कुल art doesn't have to be political. It is an expression. However, some sort of politics is always going to be part of your life. Gender politics, government politics, dynamic. तो क्योंकि वो तुम्हारी life का part है, तो it will seep into your art. So then, hence, how can art not be political? I mean, there's no question at it. I'm just saying that this is what I thought was quite interesting. That yeah, that even if you're not trying to make a big point, somehow just by expressing or being as true as possible to expressing, maybe you are doing a political move you're not
And
even
of
aware of.
course, you are Priyam. The fact that whenever artists have to represent mothers, and I'm not saying all
Yeah,
artists do that. I
yeah,
have
yeah,
that.
yeah,
We always show our mothers associated with household chores, and the
yeah,
fact that they're always talking about ye kar le, wo kar le, wo kar le. That is political because
yeah.
we are choosing to represent mothers in a very domesticated setup,
Mm-hmm.
and without even knowing, with it, because it's so internalized, it's so inside of us, it's ingrained that that is
Yeah,
how we're going to represent our mothers, which is the reason when I would do Ab Dikh Rahi Hu, I would constantly wrestle with myself that why is my mother only concerned about the fact ki ghar samet lo.
yeah. Mm.
Why? Because are you telling me that my mother is not capable of reading the newspaper and having more valid thoughts on the position of the country, or for example, if when the new education policy came out, and even though I had very limited understanding of it, I thought about the fact that why wouldn't a mother have a say on this, because it directly affects her if her
Absolutely.
child is in the school. So you are absolutely right. Everything that we're doing, it is political.
Yeah,
It is, without even knowing, it is political, but it doesn't mean that you're taking a political stand.
yeah. Do you find that sometimes you're creating out of a space of fear a little more than you're creating out of a space of truth?
100% creating out of a space of fear, for sure. Super hyper vigilant,
And does
super.
that take away from your art?
And not only fear that, oh, I am speaking against something, also fear of not saying something problematic, that
Yeah.
fear of misrepresentation, fear of using words that could possibly be potentially damaging to whatever progress something must have made, and that word could like set it back. So those things also.
Nice.
So
Pooja,
yeah.
why is it so hard for you to take compliments?
Uh, it is very hard for me to take compliments, and I have. It has to do something with, maybe I'm sure, like childhood insecurities, and the fact that I was extremely aware of the fact I matured too early in life. I grew up too early. I looked different from the girls in my class.
Mm-hmm.
So that feeling of that I feel somewhere the ascend of early body issues always has to do something. It always interferes with my sense of self,
Mm-hmm.
which is the reason why uh, you kind of it's so tough for me to talk about this also. Is it?
Yeah, like you're not, you're just sort of like in sentences. And I've always wondered this because like because I've seen this like even when I have complimented you, you've just been very weird about कि अरे पर कुछ नहीं. I've seen this about you even in interviews that I've seen where you're just immediately अरे you're looking so nice today and you're like अरे क्योंकि मैंने makeup लगाया है इसलिए. Just
Yeah.
अरे just say thank you.
It's just something that I'm not used to. I feel super awkward about it.
Still,
I still feel very awkward about it, and I also grew up in that environment where we wouldn't really compliment each other a lot. It was not a very normal thing.
mm-hmm.
And then uh, there is like a lot of sort of childhood backstory to it, which I like can't get into. But I feel like as somebody who's had a bit of a troubled childhood and has constantly struggled with her sense of self and has a bit of trauma that sort of has shaped who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I kind of have always thought of like stuff like this gets to your head and it completely tangles with your sense of self. It completely pushes you in an area where you have a very falsified sense of who you are, and I don't like that. I've been in a space where for years I was struggling in the jobs that I was doing, and I thought I was doing fairly okay in them. I never thought as my previous career to be as a failure. If today some divine intervention happens and they tell me to go back to my life, I wouldn't mind going back to my life because I liked my life. I liked what I was doing for my life, and I found it super sustainable. I think sustainable lives are beautiful, where you're
Yeah.
able to take care of yourself and you're able to live a life where you're able to help yourself and help some people around you. I feel that's a super sustainable life. So I have seen people's attitudes towards me changing. I have seen people who've not acknowledged me before to acknowledge me later. I worked in fashion. Anyway, that world is super brutal. So I've seen people in the fashion world, their attitudes changing towards me. And that has always left me with such sense of despair, where I felt that you have to be somebody for people to respect you and to take yourself seriously. I feel to keep yourself constantly grounded, I just have
You have
this.
to not do any, like, you have to not believe nice things about yourself. Is that it?
I feel I'm aware about the nice things about myself. I don't need to necessarily hear them from outside. I like validation. There's nobody in the world who doesn't like validation.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's very tough for me to, like, if you tell me right now you look good, I will never say thank you. I feel it.
So
I
bizarre
I,
to me.
I would immediately need to tell you that you're also looking good and you are looking good, so it's okay. Like, we both are looking good right now,
We
and I
look fab.
I don't think, I feel like if you want to celebrate everybody in the room. Just don't celebrate one person. It's super awkward.
So strange. That is so bizarre to me.
First time I've accepted this to myself. Also, I've not even addressed this in a in podcast carry in my therapy. So yeah,
Wow.
it makes my skin crawl.
First time you heard it first that I have feelings.
No, see, that is also making me super awkward now.
What scares you, Kusha, and has that changed in the last few years?
Death scares me. I feel
Yours or other people's, or just as a concept?
death as a concept, death of
Okay.
your death. I don't think my death scares me so much as the death of my loved ones, and especially since I surround myself with super sinister, cynical content on murder mysteries. Literally, what
Like मेरे साथ होने वाला है ऐसा.
the fact that everything could be taken away from you, snatched from you, and these feelings heighten when things are going okay for you in your life.
Yeah.
It's like when I have a really happy day, I'm not able to feel happy in that moment because I'm immediately engulfed by the feeling that what if all of this gets taken away.
Oh
I know. Oh god, this got super dark, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this.
yeah, same. I'm sure you're not the only person who feels. I feel like a big fear for me used to be maybe, but the death, of course. कोई मजे थोड़े आ रहे किसी को death के बारे में सोच के. But I feel like I was sometimes crippled by the thought of losing loved ones. And then at some point, I think in the last few years, I was just like, वो तो काफी naturally है, जो natural causes से जाएंगे. It's a reality. You can't really help it. And then at some point, if you're outgrowing some people, or if your lives are not aligning, तो वो भी हो ही सकता है, that everybody is not permanent. I feel like now my fear, the bigger one, because I like to live in a very self-sufficient kind of life, and I've been fairly independent most of my life. I was financially independent very young. तो मुझे अब लगता रहता है कि अगर ऐसे ही continue करना है, तो हेल्थ का मेरे को बड़ा हमेशा अब डर लगा रहता है. मुझे लगता है ये वे में आ सकती है और बहुत ही गांड लग जाएगी फिर. So I am now obsessed about like just fuck, I wish like everything's okay, and I got into like working out last year, and I try to eat super healthy now. Like I didn't grow up with too many body issues. मतलब जो दहेज में जो घर पे आते हैं वो तो है ही, but उसके अलावा externally था. I was a very confident kid and all, little bit of an asshole also, but वो सब के अलावा now I'm much more this thing about that. No, like now that I'm turning 30 in a few months and I'm feeling some sort of way about it for sure, I don't want to be a old not physically healthy person. क्योंकि मेंटल हेल्थ का तो कुछ कर भी नहीं सकते ना, उसका तो वो तो है ही तुम्हारा रॉक एंड रोल लाइफ लॉन्ग.
Absolutely agree. Mental health का तो मैंने last year सोचा था कि मैंने करना है कुछ इसका, so I started doing
Very
something
nice.
for it. Your health point is so valid. I'll tell you why. Because I was diagnosed with abdominal TB 4 months before my wedding.
Oh,
And
shit.
that was my health wake up call in life. Not that कि उसके बाद मेरा weight कुछ मतलब I don't know, people associate healthy with कि
Yeah.
weight कम कर लो, but
Yeah.
that's not the case with me. I get tested every year. I get tested twice a year. I got all my tests done this year in Jan. So that's become a ritual for me. And बहुत मजा आता है जब आप बहुत सारे पैसे खर्च करते हो और टेस्ट एकदम नॉर्मल आते हैं. तो अगर एक विटामिन डी की डेफिशिएंसी आ जाती तो मतलब लगता कि टेस्ट
It's such a middle class thing to say. हमारी जो ये फाइनेंशियल इनसिक्योरिटी बचपन से कि अरे फिर कराना ही क्यों था, कुछ आया नहीं तो.
आयरन की भी डेफिशिएंसी नहीं आई तो फिर ऐसा लगा अरे इतने पैसे खर्च कर लिए एक एक कुछ आ जाए. बट माय फादर वाज लाइक डोंट से स्टफ लाइक दिस, डोंट. And yeah, you're so right about the health thing. I feel it's also associated with death in a certain way where
Yeah.
like you can't if it does somewhere arise from that fear where you're like you're not going to be functioning properly, so it's best to take care of your health.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Here's hoping. We try.
we try.
You
You're doing fab, I have to say. Like your yoga posts, I feel like they inspire me so much. I've spoken to you about it also, and I love the fact that you dance so much. I feel like that.
I
I
think
would also, yeah, say.
no, please say.
I would also have to say this. I would also have to take this moment to say, like, as somebody who's heavier and plus sized, that people associate health with the fact that you look a certain way.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people out there who might have bodies that are not the conventional fit bodies, but their internals are working just fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as somebody who is that, I would like to tell you all my test reports are great, so do not tell me to lose weight.
Amazing. Do you struggle with how people view you physically still?
हाँ, मतलब मैं बचपन से ही स्ट्रगल करती हूँ इस बारे में because as I said, I matured pretty early. So like I had boobs very early in my life. I have started wearing a sports bra बहुत early. तो ना आप बचपन से ही sexualize होना शुरू हो जाते हो. And then those groping incidents, eve teasing incidents start early for you. And as a 10-year-old, you don't really know what to do with a 10, 11-year-old. I also have history of sexual abuse. So anyway, I kind of fear. I don't want to be sexualized at all. It sort of triggers me a lot. So I would dress. I know I do this much
चलती हुई neckline and all, और अभी भी मैं ऐसे में चलती हूँ neckline बार-बार ठीक करते रहती हूँ. पर क्या होता है ना कि
I'm very aware of the fact that I don't want to be sexualized. I don't want to be not because I think there's anything wrong with it. No, it's because it's my own personal trigger points where I feel that nobody should have the authority on how they would want to view me. I want to be 100% full in control of how I want to be viewed. So somewhere I used to get super affected by all of this, but now I feel 85%, 82% I have accepted my body, and I feel that is a very
insane. बहुत बढ़िया number है, बहुत बढ़िया percentage.
No, if you had to put it in a percentage, because I know that you celebrate your body, and I just absolutely love it.
Yeah, I feel like because I think because I was always such a loud kind of kid, I was very popular in school. Unfortunately, so much of your self-worth is attached to male attention. वो भी मुझे मिलता ही था. I was very sexually curious, very young in my life. तो आई एम नॉट वियर्ड अबाउट नेकेड बॉडी ऑल्सो, मतलब मुझे अच्छा ही लगता था हमेशा कि कपड़े उतार के चलो. एंड ऑल्सो यू we don't have to get into details, but you spoke about sexual abuse, and everybody sort of deals with that in their own way. And so much I feel like dealing with my sexual abuse was to sort of liberating myself from that thought of that this is this terrible thing that happened to me that I'll never be able to get out of it.
Yeah.
The reaction, oh my god, I'm getting shivers just talk. I literally never talk about it.
Same.
Oh
Okay,
my
are you
god.
gonna like take a break?
I'm cool. Oh my god, I have not spoken about this in 100 years, I think.
Oh my god.
This is my first cry on this
Oh my
podcast.
god. Oh my god. You're gonna make me cry, and I'm anyway a crier.
But anyway, तो मुझे लगा कि some way that I was dealing with it fairly young was that why is my body this weird thing that now somehow I'm supposed to be ashamed for? तो उसका जो D route मैंने लिया, somehow it served me well, and I know it served me well because I was a popular kid. If I wasn't, if I was somebody who was getting bullied or not paid attention to, was like didn't have friends, I would बहुत ही ज़्यादा अलग direction में जा सकता था ये.
If it makes you feel any better, it's so interesting you say this because that is exactly the route I also took. I was also an achiever in school, and more so because my mother wanted me to be. I didn't know any better for myself. I was a popular kid in school, and my response to my sexual abuse was to not address it at all. I didn't address it for I think a decade or so, and somewhere I also held myself responsible is because I thought because you look like this and because you look like a little woman at the age of 10, which is the reason why this happened to you and has not happened with anybody else. So somewhere I dealt with it and I just completely forgot it. And it's so funny that in therapy you realize how that's shaped your life.
Yeah.
And how that's and you don't even know how it has. So I'm just I don't know. There is no like concluding note to this.
Oh, I get that. And I feel like, when you said that you think that this is something that happens to you and nobody else, it has happened too, because you must have done something, you look a certain way or you did something is why. And then as you grow older and then your conversations with your friends and peers open up and you're just like, ye to bro, definitely more common than you think, definitely different degrees, but it's so important. I mean, of course it's so hard to have the conversation, but whenever whoever is ready, I feel like it's important. It was a big step in my dealing with it to finally be able to tell one person about it कि yo ऐसा हुआ है scene, चलो हम बढ़ते हैं इसके आगे.
Can I just say one thing? When I was 17 or 18, I remember I volunteered for NAS Foundation, which used to work for MSM, men having sex with men, and then they were the ones who did I think also really pushed the agenda of the first Pride Parade in Delhi. So I remember I used to work with a lot of peer educators there, and so many men came out to me about their sexual abuse. And that's when for the first time I explicitly spoke about it to a stranger, absolute strangers. And I feel like we were, I think, 4 of us and 3 of us had faced sexual abuse. And I feel like the 4th one didn't talk about it at all. But like I could sense this, we exchanged these very knowing glances that this is a very regular thing that has been happening. And it's just that because nobody talks about it, so it just like completely gets brushed under the दादी जी का carpet.
सही बात है. जब मैं मुंबई शिफ्ट हुई थी, I remember like just the fact that you could wear shorts anywhere.
हाँ, Delhi में.
It had blown my entire mind. Like I stopped wearing clothes when I shifted to Mumbai. I'm not even kidding. I was like, I'm gonna be in my bra. This is the only place I can be. Maybe actually shifting to Mumbai was also a big building block in my confidence or being sure of myself. And I was just like, it doesn't matter. You look a certain way, you're gonna gain weight, you're gonna lose weight. Is fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so,
it doesn't
well,
matter.
it is what it is. Why do you think creative people always think they are frauds? और ये imposter syndrome इतना common क्यों है? तुम्हें तो है ही, पर इतना common क्यों है different degrees में?
सबको नहीं होता. Let me tell you, I have met my share of artists who have not an ounce of imposter syndrome. Not an ounce, and are very, very proud of themselves and really revel in their brilliance.
Nice. मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि if you're a creative person, क्योंकि वो मैथ्स नहीं है, तो तुम्हें पता है कि कोई राइट और रॉन्ग आंसर है नहीं, तो फिर तुम्हें लगता है तुम्हारा आंसर कैसे हो सकता है राइट, क्योंकि तुमने दिमाग से सोचा है. So then you're just constantly living in this fear of being found out कि चलो ये भी तुक्का लग गया, ये MCQ का चलो ये भी सही था, ये भी सही था, and then you're just be like कौन सा आंसर गलत होगा, where it will be revealed that fuck I didn't know anything to begin with at all.
I feel with artists, they are insatiable, right? They're never going to treat कि अच्छा हमने इतना काम कर दिया, now this work will be considered as our work and that's about it.
Yeah.
We also are in this constant need to churn out something new, something even better. And the moment, till the moment that feeling continues to consume you, there is no way you cannot have imposter syndrome. I also feel, and I shouldn't say it, that a little bit of imposter syndrome also helps you really grow and keep yourself in check. And the fact that you cannot become too complacent with what you've done, and don't become too lazy. But varying degrees of imposter syndrome also will hinder what you want to create, because you're going to double guess everything that you put out in the world. So artist को imposter syndrome नहीं होगा तो किसको
सही
होगा?
बात. And of course you think it's a good thing. You can't take compliments. You're stupid. So moving on.
I feel light like pinch नहीं होता वो
स्वाद अनुसार.
हाँ.
Shabash. What is your relationship with money?
Super middle class.
And has that changed before and after?
FD करवा लो, म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट मत करो, सारी गलत चीजें जो I think have been passed down from our parents, which is low risk, low output. That is my relationship. But I want to tell you that I recently bought a house, which was
congratulations. And it's such a I feel like मतलब ड्रीम तो है ही हमारी जनरेशन का, बट जैसे जैसे बड़े हो रहे थोड़ा एक अनअटेनेबल ड्रीम ही, बिकॉज who's buying property our age anymore, because who can afford it? So congratulations, well deserved.
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel like I've been able to do that because I'm privileged in a lot of other sense, where literally my only I had to only take care of myself and nothing else. That's the reason I was able to achieve that dream for myself. But at the same time, I just मतलब वो घर लेना भी कितनी social conditioning थी मेरे लिए तो होना चाहिए. And although investment wise it does not make sense, because a lot of people advised me to not buy a house, but जैसे ही लॉकडाउन हुआ मेरा वो फीलिंग और सॉलिडिफाई हो गया कि कुशा ये तो पहला पैंडेमिक है. जिस तरह जिस दिशा में ये दुनिया जा रही है और जिस तरह हर जगह त्राही मच रही है, घर पे ही ज्यादा वक्त बिताना पड़ेगा, तो घर ले लो. So बढ़िया. I am literally telling you, my decision to buy a house was solidified and informed more because of the pandemic. But that is the relationship I have with money, which is super. पहले अपने बहुत ही सोसाइटल अप्रूव्ड सपने पूरे कर लो.
घर, शादी, बच्चा नहीं फिलहाल, कुत्ता.
I feel अभी तक तो जो भी मैंने चीजें करी हैं वो काफी कंडीशनिंग लेड है, and I have no shame in accepting that कि वो बहुत कंडीशनिंग लेड है. वो कंडीशनिंग इतनी ज्यादा अंदर तक मेरे क्रेविसेस में घुस चुकी है कि मैं वही डिसीजंस ले रही हूँ. तो अभी तक तो मैंने ऐसा कुछ भी मैंने नहीं लिया अपनी लाइफ में कुछ बहुत ही ऐसे रेवोल्यूशनरी डिसीजन व्हिच इज अगेंस्ट सोसाइटी एंड अगेंस्ट एस्टैब्लिशमेंट. मैं वही कर रही हूँ. सो दैट्स व्हाई I feel very weird when people are like, oh, let's celebrate you. I was like, for what? Literally everything I've done in my life literally by the book. बट हाँ, ये आपका क्या रिश्ता है? मुझे जानना कि आपका पैसे मैं अकेली नहीं हो सकती जो ऐसे सोचती है पैसे के बारे में.
एक तो वही like you said, एक financial insecurity is part of our lives because our parents were brought up like that and this is how it was passed on almost. फिर मुझे लगता है कि जब मैं पैसे रेगुलरली जब कमा रही थी एक जॉब में 1.5 साल पहले तक, तो the first job I ever did मेरी 19,000 की सैलरी थी, and the job that I finally left मेरे how to say number now, it's a little over 1 lakh, let's say. ठीक है, मेरी 19,000 में भी zero saving, मेरी 1 लाख में भी zero saving. Also I was living in for 9.5 years I was living in Bombay. तो and I was जैसे पहली नौकरी हो गई फिर घर से पैसे लेना खत्म कर दिया, तो big chunk of my thing was कि रेंट में जा रहा है और बाकी मेरी अय्याशियां ये सब, and I had no savings at all. Then when I quit my job and became this freelancer who's jack of all trades, master of none, mostly because I'm not very skilled in one particular thing. तो फिर ऐसे होने लग गया कि चलो कभी कभी बहुत पैसे भी आ सकते हैं, कभी कभी कुछ भी नहीं आ सकता. So now you have to be better about handling money. And that is when I realized that actually, as a person, I am not a big spend. I don't enjoy shopping. I hate traveling. मेरी कोई expensive hobbies नहीं है. मेरा मतलब rent का पैसा, थोड़े मेरी बुरी indulgences. That's it. Food. So I think now my relationship with money is a slightly more positive, where earlier I feel like the aspiration for money was huge. It was very like, keep working, कुछ पैसा कहाँ से पैसा. फिर मैंने कहा नहीं, मैं बहुत बड़ा थका रहा है ये और कुछ हो नहीं रहा मेरे से. You know, like it's not, maybe I'm not working for the right reasons, or maybe I'm not attaching myself to the right things, because somehow how much money I am making is a very big part of how I see myself. And now, since that has changed, ironically, I'm still making the same amount of money, if not more, but it's a lot more relaxed. It's not a, yeah,
Sure.
it's relaxed. You got married very young. Did you always want to get married by a certain age?
ये भी पर्सपेक्टिव है. मैं जहां से मैं आती हूँ वहां पे 27 साल की शादी में उम्र करना लेट नहीं है. 27 साल की उम्र में शादी करना लेट नहीं.
You were 27. I don't know why I thought you were younger. 27 तो ठीक है, late नहीं है, ठीक
I
है.
was 27, but हाँ अब it's so interesting that perspective has also changed, because जब मेरी 27 साल में शादी हुई थी, it was seen as a decent age to get married, not soon, not too late. Up to 27, I don't think is the age when
Yeah.
people are choosing to get married, because I also personally feel it's too young. And it also depends on what kind of life experiences have you had. Have you stayed alone? Have you traveled? Have you worked in another city that is not your own? Have you actually traveled for your jobs? I feel all of this is so important.
Yeah.
आपकी ग्रोथ ही नहीं हुई है. 27 साल की उम्र तक आपने अगर ये सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस नहीं करे, आपकी कोई इमोशनल ग्रोथ नहीं हुई है. I went into my marriage with zero emotional growth, with zero I would say adult growth. Adulthood में पूरी तरह मैं घुसी ही नहीं थी. I used to stay in my parents' house, and because I live in Delhi, I never had to travel to any other city because सारी opportunities यहाँ पर थी. मैंने बहुत हेक्टिकली ट्राई किया बॉम्बे बैंगलोर में काम करने का, दुबई तक अप्लाई किया, नहीं लगी मेरी जॉब, तो मैं यहाँ पे स्टक हो गई. और अब यहाँ रह रही हूँ तो क्यों रेंटेड घर में रहूँ. तो पेरेंट्स के साथ रहती थी. बट now I realize that how important it was for me to live alone, because I was marrying somebody who has lived alone a good part of his life. He went to a boarding school, lived alone. He knew how to handle a household, how to handle expenses. I knew nothing of that sort. Okay. So the moment I got married to him, I feel like that jolt came, where like this little झापड़ came across my face that ये होता है, खुद करना होता है सब कुछ. Which is so sad. I remember कि मेरे aspiration थे कि बस मेरी शादी हो जाएगी और फिर मैं बस मैं भगवान जी 1 महीने का 1 लाख कमा लूं, and then मुझे कुछ चाहिए ही नहीं और लाइफ से.
Lovely.
We are told to be okay with this aspiration for ourselves. We were said कि हाँ इतना हो जाएगा बहुत है. तो these are all like things that have passed on to you, and you have this image because this is like the accepted image of how you want to live your life. It's, I think, if Zorawar wasn't in my life, I would have never learned how to be a person of my own. He's the one who I feel like pushed me, and there was no hand holding. There was no like, chalo main tumhe sikhata hu adulthood kya hota hai. He was always like, figure your shit out on your own, woman.
Get with it.
It's insane. And जब आप बोलना तो चाहते हो equitable marriage, करो भी जब equitable marriage, so you have to realize that there are certain responsibilities that come with equitable marriage, where when it says equitable, you have all responsibilities. If all privileges are 50%, all responsibilities are also 50%. So,
but now for the first time, I have people who are friends who are in the arranged marriage setup, which is blowing my mind. मतलब मुझे लगता है कि बिल्कुल जिसको शादी करनी है वो करे, जिसको बच्चा करना है वो करे. तुम्हें प्यार हो गया, you found somebody that you think you can share a life with, you should. But to go and meet somebody and then deciding that you and I can share a bedroom and a bathroom and a kitchen, it blows my mind. And that is why I think so many of my friends, even though they are part of the arranged marriage market, वो lock नहीं कर पा रहे, क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा है कि finally women also have a say ना in the matter. पहले तो राजा बेटा आते थे, तुम्हें चुन के चलो, अब हमारे घर रहने आ जाओ. So now the girls are finally just like, yo, I can't do this. Is there advice? Like, how to navigate getting married to a stranger?
I have insight on this, okay?
Please tell me.
Where I come from, a marriage is 100% a tick mark. और मैं इतनी sexually liberated नहीं थी. मैं sexually curious थी, और मेरा sexual curiosity मेरे sexual abuse की वजह से था.
Mhm.
कभी भी sexually इतनी liberated नहीं थी. I have not had a lot of boyfriends. I don't want to say, but it is true that Zorawar might just be the only man I have been with. So मेरे को insight इस पे सिर्फ इसलिए है because I I was in like when I was the people I went to school with,
Mhm.
they had pressures to get married. The people I went to college with, they're nowhere near getting married. So I have, it's two sides of the coin for me. Okay, so अरेंज मैरिजेस के भी दो इनसाइट है. एक तो ये है कि बहुत रियल प्रेशर होता है आपकी फैमिली से, और नॉट एवरीबडी हैव द बैंडविड्थ टू फाइट देयर फैमिली.
Yeah,
प्रियम,
yeah.
द प्रेशर
And
इज,
especially the kind of families that, like when I hear stories, मुझे तो यार, anyway, we'll talk about parents also in 1 second, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
it
Exactly.
is terrible for your self-worth. My own sister has gone through arranged marriage. So I am somebody who is extremely badtameez and rebellious with her parents. So I was able to fight it. But for my sister, for a lot of my friends, they couldn't fight it. They couldn't go against their parents. And if you're coming from families that are exceedingly strict, that are even more restrictive in the way they want you to be as a woman, can't do much.
Yeah.
So imagine for them, they have a pool of men that they have to choose from, and they can only, every day they have to like pray to their stars and star alignments कि आज जो लड़का हो ना वो थोड़ा सा ठीक हो.
Sachi.
So you settle for, and it's the same as for, I would say the pressures for men are also there, but for women are even more grave.
Yeah.
अरेंज मैरिज में तो दोनों साइड्स की लगती है, पर लड़कियों की थोड़ी ज्यादा लगती है क्योंकि वो लड़कियां हैं, बाय द वर्च्यू ऑफ जस्ट बीइंग अ
As
वुमन
usual.
एंड एक्स क्रोमोसोम हमारी तो ज्यादा लगती है. ठीक है, तो लिटरली my friend has been like I have had friends who have chosen men who according to them were like 5 on 10, but they're like, this is the best we can get at this point, so that we don't end up with like a, and 2 on 10 not in terms of like rating, but in terms of what I want. If I have a checklist of these are 10 things I want, this person has 5, I will go with them. So that is one pressure of marriage. And I am not ever able to openly talk about this because somehow I'm surrounded by super liberated women around me who don't understand this concept. But I understand this because I've seen this, and I've seen how hard it could be on women. And especially if you are somebody who is conventionally not the marriage material market in terms of your body, looks, complexion, everything. If you're too overqualified, you know too much, you've traveled too much, all of these are hindrances when it comes to the marriage market. So it really is up to that woman, how much can she fight. The other aspect of arranged marriages, which is very interesting, which I recently found out, is that people who are older and have tried every dating app that is there in the world, which is, so now what is happening with them, that they've, let's say they've not found their soulmate, okay, but they do have a desire to get married. I have seen people who, if they don't even want to get married, they want to have kids. Okay. वो भी है that somewhere they only want to get married to have kids. I have seen those scenarios also. So in that situation, or maybe on dating apps, they're not finding people who want to get married.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are also using maybe modern arranged marriage setups and scenarios where they are trying to meet people who are like-minded, and maybe for them it doesn't get decided on the first meeting. They go on several meetings. Maybe there's a courtship for 2 months, but it is initiated by the desire to get. It's like you're meeting somebody who also
for that purpose. Yeah.
Which also eliminates all the distracting elements and fuckboys in the process. So I feel somewhere when you meet somebody with an intent to get married, all of the distractions get eliminated completely from it.
What is the, I know there's no right answer to this, but if you had to give me that, like what should click for you to finally say yes? Because भाई 5 or 10 वाला ये best case scenario है.
मैं तो बोलना चाहूंगी marriage scam है. And the person who's married, I will tell you, the only reason you want to get married is because you've seen your siblings and your parents and everybody get married. This idea is sold to you in Bollywood movies. This idea is sold to you by capitalistic campaigns, some of which even I do. I would like to tell you, marriage is a full scam. आपको कोई इंसान पसंद है तो आप उनके साथ रह लीजिए. उसके ऊपर गवर्नमेंट का ठप्पा, किसी का ठप्पा लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है. And it's also sort of it's all like the derivation of also it is from the fact that you don't want to feel lonely. A lot of
Yeah.
people, like I used to feel super lonely, which is the reason I got married in the first place. I don't want to ever go back to that feeling. I was single for a decade, and I used to feel really lonely. And people are scared of that lonely
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
And you could be enough for yourself. Like if you say I am enough, but I could still be lonely. I could still
Yeah.
want companionship. I would still want love. So which is the reason I don't despise people who are older and who go for an arranged marriage setup, because they just are looking for somebody who also maybe have the same feeling, and maybe once they come together they feel slightly better about it. So that's there for sure. But I mean, I'm in a marriage where nothing is marriage like. So the reason is working for me.
That's true.
हम कोई भी ऐसे रीति रिवाज करते नहीं है, कुछ नहीं करते. So it's a very like bachelor pad setup where like कोई भी आता है, कोई भी जाता है,
Okay.
chilling होती
Yeah,
है.
we're not a regular couple, we're a cool couple.
I don't want to say that at all. But yeah, we don't quite subscribe to what like.
That's good.
I think
Tell-
people will think कि हमारी open marriage है, but ऐसा नहीं है. Yeah, I don't know. है so can't tell you.
Kusha is not sexually liberated. She has said on record. She's not cool enough to be in an open marriage. ये बहुत अलग अलग आंसर्स पे उसने यही बताया है कि कुशा नहीं है ओपन मैरिज के लिए, which is perfectly fine. Tell me about your relationship with your parents. Are you close now?
I am definitely closer now, because I had years of rebellion that I sort of they faced from me, especially with my mom. I feel I had some sort of a grudge against her when I was growing up, but I've come to love her so much in the recent years. I've understood her so much better. I've understood her perspective, her struggles, where she's come from, and so my mother's had to face very different kind of struggles, financial struggles and other struggles. My mother's father was a taxi driver, and in his later years he was a halwai. So I know what kind of a world my mother has seen, and I know why there were certain pressures from her when I
Yeah.
was growing up, is because she wanted me to be a certain way, and she wanted me to not go through stuff that she had not gone she had that she had gone through. For example, she was not happy with the fact that she was just she just had a graduate degree. So she had this aspiration for me that she wanted me to be a doctor. uh, in later years I've understood it. I don't blame myself for not understanding that as a teenager.
Because you
uh,
didn't have the bandwidth at the time. You didn't have the exposure at the time to be on the same page as your parents.
yeah, plus
None of
my
us did.
father had way more exposure as a person in terms of traveling, understanding things, and my mother had, I would say, zero exposure as a person. So I feel like through my dad, my mother has also seen a better quality of
He
life.
was the Zod to her, Kusha.
Mm, relationship is completely different, and they're super touchwood, like they're like superstitious, but they're super romantic and
That's so cute.
super in love with each other. Like Zorawar and I are not even that degree of mushy with each other. We're super practical, pragmatic people with each other, which I really like about our relationship. But with my parents, yeah, my mother saw a better quality of life, and that's what she wanted for me also.
Mhm.
And in the later years, I understood it. Like I don't blame myself for not understanding that as a teenager, but now I fully
So,
understand.
what is that one thing you think that your upbringing has added to you? One, if you had to pick, and one thing that you resentment, तो बहुत strong word है, but something that you low key resent your parents for, because I think all of us do a little bit.
Resent. I feel in my bachpan, it was super normal for parents around to hit their kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's one thing I resented my mom for.
Mhm.
But I feel like I stood up to her. I stood up to her, and that changed everything. And that's all I want to talk about.
And what's the one thing that you're just like, ye mere parents cracked this before the other ones? Doesn't have to be something super big, but something you're super.
So my parents are super grounded. I am super grounded. My father has never abused in front of me, because he's the father of two daughters, and there was another cousin of ours who was a girl. So we're a family dominated by women.
Mm.
So I have not seen any kind of. I just said my mom hit me, and then I say, but I've never seen like abuse.
Yeah. And again, the thing is that just because we're a certain age right now, we cannot pretend that at the time it's unfortunate, but I never got hit in my house. But parents hitting children was not it wasn't considered abuse.
I wasn't considered abuse, but it is abuse in hindsight.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is like my father especially was super respectful around the house. So जब मैंने actually first time सुना था लड़कों को गालियां देते हुए तो मेरे लिए बहुत एक shocking चीज थी. So which is the reason why I still get super whatever कि यार गाली क्यों दे रहे हो, because मेरे घर में गाली देना was not a normal thing.
Yes.
And with my dad the relationship is super respectful because he's somebody who knows a lot. He's really like, I feel like he's a very worldly man. His knowledge is vast. So I've always had a very super respectful relationship
Sweet.
towards my dad, and with my mom I'm like super like chalna.
We're bros. वो होता है.
So it's like that.
Cute. Do you think there's some stuff you do that makes you a bad feminist?
Yeah.
Bata.
I feel like criticizing other women for their choices is something that used to come so naturally to us, and also it was also, I think, a part of wanting to get male attention. So like, I'm not that.
I'm not like other girls. Yeah.
So many times it would happen that I would be on a girls group and saying something about somebody, and one of us will only remind each other ki, listen, this is not cool. It's like
This is not us
like
anymore. Yeah.
boys. So yeah, somewhere definitely because of internalized misogyny, thinking ki अरे ये लड़की ऐसा क्यों कर रही है, that definitely makes me a bad feminist like that. And also for me, I would say marriage, why I did it at that time was an unfeminist decision where I thought कि मैं शादी कर लेती हूँ वरना मैं रह जाऊंगी, मैं societal need की वजह से शादी कर लेती हूँ and everything. I feel like I did somewhere had a I mean, I don't regret this decision, but I feel like today if I would have gotten married, my reasons would have been different versus the reason I got married at 27. It just panned out so well for me that I don't regret it. But I remember उस time कहीं ना कहीं I was not ready to get married, and I still dived into it thinking कि यही चाहिए. वो तो like I got super lucky in terms of we both wanted the same things. That time why I got married was super unfeminist and like FOMO and रह जाऊंगी और लड़की हूँ फिर डीले हो जाएगा, ये लड़का हाथ से चला गया, तो वो सारी thoughts मेरे mind में. So yeah, I would say somewhere.
We're going to talk quickly about your acting career. You're a fab actor, you know this, and the testament to this is the 100 characters not only that you've created, you've sustained and created brand value for and recall value for. However, by virtue of now you being a content creator, Kosha Kapala, your individual brand somehow has now become bigger than what you're perhaps even capable of. So when people are thinking of you in roles, I'm assuming it is like a ghost stories where you have to go and play influencer only, you know. So how do you navigate that, or is acting not a big sapna anymore? Or yeah,
I feel like ghost stories still made sense for me and a lot of sense for me, and I would say I'm grateful for that role because I was still not playing a character. I played an influencer.
Yeah.
I didn't mind playing that, but in my mannerisms was super normal. I was still a friend.
Yeah.
And I think I did pretty okay in it, even like 1 or 2 scenes that I did, but I feel pretty okay in it, and it was a blast to be on a set, dude. And for like somebody to get a role like that, I feel like I'm super thankful for that opportunity, and you know, to all the parties involved in that. But at the same time, I somewhere do feel कि ना मैंने बहुत सारे roles I didn't even audition for them because I was like कि ये तो मुझे अपने से 10-15 साल बड़ी औरत का रोल आया है इतनी बार कि मैंने कहा, but you know, it makes no sense. It looks super caricaturish. And then at some point I had this realization, which is a very sad realization, that in acting especially, you have to be a very fluid person where you can do whatever role you want. Like you can like get into whatever role. As in your personality and everything, maybe the aesthetics of you and all, and it has to be super fluid कि आप किसी भी रोल में उतर सकते हैं. And somehow क्योंकि मैंने इतने stereotypical depictions कर लिए हैं अपनी life में, तो I feel like somewhere people associate that with you. Movies are a lot also about aesthetic. You have to look the part. you can't not look the part.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't force somebody to hire you because you think you'll be good for that. No,
Yeah.
they have to feel that you are fitting the part. And to be able to fit the part, yes, there you could have to make certain changes to you. Either you write the role that you want to see yourself
Yeah.
in. Like, I feel like that is something that a lot of people are doing. Or if you are dependent on somebody else giving you the job, you make the, and physical changes don't always mean ki, losing your weight. It could be gaining muscle, looking muscular, this, that, whatever. You know, you have everything in front of you. आज के डेट में हर opportunity है. आप कौन सी opportunity लेना चाहते हैं वो आपके ऊपर है. So yeah.
And to have that discipline to follow through, that not just think it, fucking do it.
Yeah.
What is your best habit and what is your most toxic trait?
I think my toxic habit is that I go into these really self-deprecating phases where I'll just mull over something over and over again, and I'll just not move. I've had days in lockdown where I've not moved from a place for like three days because I'm like, I've held on to something and I've not done anything about it. That's super toxic for me because I forget to eat and drink water also. Hydrate myself in those episodes. And I feel like आम बताओ ना मेरा बेस्ट को मैं कैसे बता दूं
ये मुझे तो लग रहा है इस conversation के बाद that your best habit is that you're constantly trying to keep yourself at check. You know, I feel like that is such a constant, almost subconscious effort in your head, where not in some weird way that you're afraid to fail wala scene, but you're very, very careful, which I hope is the best habit. But I think what that does for you is that all the other stuff that you have going on, and sometimes perhaps even negative, you're able to remind yourself कि नहीं मतलब कि ठीक है, I'm trying my best. I think trying your best is your best habit.
Yeah. I feel yes, that is there because I know everything that gets put on the internet. I think it has to be put out with a certain sense of responsibility, and it's not so bad to check yourself. Like I feel like checking yourself is seen as not cool. I feel it's okay.
Bilkul. Check yourself.
I'm a great friend.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I think I'm a good friend to have. So yeah.
That is sweet.
Disagree, but yeah.
Okay, I have a last question. So because again, I said this podcast is based out of my existential crisis, where I was like, क्या चल रहा है लोगों के दिमाग में? Where are we at in life? Tell me, according to you, as somebody I'm sure of has gone through one too many existential crises, and now that I feel like I know a little bit, तेरा तो weekly में चलता होगा. What is something that you learned from your last one? That is part one of this question. And second, what according to you, in all your wisdom, however limited or vast, is the meaning of life or the point of life?
What I've learned from my last existential crisis is I just had it like last week is that because I'm a creator, social media is not your life. It is I don't even think it's a reality. It is like it's like a simulation, and you can step out of it whenever you want to, unless you believe we're living in a simulation, which is another existential crisis that you have. But I think you can, like, if actually for 3 days you'll step out of the social media world, you'll realize, oh, I have a life. I have people who exist and are real flesh and bones, tangible things I can touch. And people online can't touch you. They can just like at best hurl shit at you, and that's about it. So that was my grand realization where I said you can shut yourself wherever you want to. Another meaning of life. Wow, Priyam. Like, how can you ask me that question?
Because मेरे को बहुत interesting मिले answers.
आप बताइए meaning of life.
मुझे लग रहा है I am constantly oscillating between एक तो कि देखो दुनिया में तो आग जल रही है तो कुछ भी मैं कर रही हूँ ये you know like how trivial are my problems, but every now and then I'm just like नहीं मतलब like you said, you know, trauma is not relative, problems are not relative, मेरी problems है मैं deal कर रही हूँ वो मेरी सच्चाई है. But every time I try basically to remind myself the point of life is that despite everything you have to be present. 2020 if anything, if it has taught us कि कुछ भी all your plans add up to shit, कुछ कर नहीं सकते तुम इसका. आज जो like today, like if I'm in this conversation, then I'm 100% say involved. If I'm taking a shower earlier, you know, like अच्छा नहाने के बाद क्या करना, like नहीं नहाओ ना यार थोड़े मजे से 10 मिनट लगा के shower थोड़ा clean your body, feel yourself up. So I think now I'm trying to be present a lot more and fairly successfully, I would like to believe. But that I think is the meaning.
It's so interesting you say this, and मैंने कितनी बारी बात बोली, it's so interesting to say this, but it is so interesting to say this because when you said that thing about being present, I spoke about it in therapy last week, and I remember my therapist said कि but it's okay if you're not present because that's a part of ADHD brain because of my like I feel like because when I'm in a moment I'm constantly just thinking about कि वो होता है तो क्या होता है, ये होता है तो वो होता है तो वो होता है, तो being present is like my goals of therapy this year. It's the topmost goal I have set for myself. So मेरा मीनिंग ऑफ लाइफ जो मेरे को रियलाइज हुआ है स्पेशली लॉकडाउन में, बिकॉज सबको रियलाइज हुआ है कि जो चीज कल करनी है ना, जो चीज की एस्पिरेशन कल करने को है उसको आज कर लो, बिकॉज आई फील लाइक द कल करे सो आज कर इज सो रेलिवेंट कि अगर आपको डांस क्लास ज्वाइन करनी है, आपको कल से फिट होना है, आपको कल से कुछ करना है अपने किसी चीज के बारे में, आपको कोई डेफिशिएंसी आपको उसके बारे में कुछ करना है, आपको कुछ नई चीज ट्राई करनी है, लैंग्वेज ट्राई करनी है, आपको अपने पेरेंट्स के लिए ग्रैंड जेस्चर करना है, आप सोच रहे हैं कि आप 2 महीने बाद करेंगे, आज कर लो. हो सकता है कि उसका इंटेंसिटी उतनी मत रखो जितना आप आज कर सकते हो. डू इट, गेट डन विद इट. अनदर थिंग इज दैट आई हैव सो मच रिस्पेक्ट फॉर माय बॉडी नाउ. It has so much. It has your body is the reason you are, you know, like you operate because there are things working inside your body. So I have huge respect for my heart, my organs, my vagina. I have respect for every single thing. I have respect for my PCOD ovaries. Like I have respect for everything in my body and I want to respect my body every single day.
Very nice. With that, we have come to the end of this fab episode of I Have Feelings. Thank you so much. Before I let you go, I have to say that, like, and I say this all the time, like, you know, when your first videos came out, and I was in Mumbai at the time, और मैं ऐसे हो गई कि कौन है ये लड़की? With you and Dolly, like, I was immediately obsessed, and I remember I started showing it to like my friends, and they don't get it. They've not grown up in Delhi. Because तुम समझ ही नहीं रहे हो ये यार, ये कितना funny है. And then, of course, over time, your content has gotten, of course, more polished and nuanced and all varied, all these kind of things. So I just want to say I have been loud and proud OG Kusha Kapila fan. Before it was cool to like her, and before like she became this, I was like, this girl, man, कहाँ से आई है ये? तो आज मुझे बहुत मजा आया कि हम ये hang कर पाए, because I'm obsessed with you and I've told you this before. I feel so personally invested in your journey. Every time something great happens to you, I'm like, Kusha yaar, great, just congratulations, more power.
Take this compliment and say a big thank you because I'm known to not take compliments. I'm going to thank you so much for this. But you know, like how much I rooted for you when you did go for that, and I think I was just so surprised by the fact that you do this also. Like
I did randomly और मुझे बहुत मजा आ गया करके.
हाँ, मुझे नहीं पता that you do stand-up comedy, so I was like, wow, this is like awesome. So congratulations to you, man. I really enjoyed whatever content you put out, like they put out there. So I really liked it, and you're doing something great later this year. You're shooting something, so onwards and upwards to you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Kusha. Thank you for being here. I know this is way more than the time I asked of you, but मेरे पास है इतनी सारी feelings यार, और अब फिर मेरे को मिल गया ना discuss करने के लिए तो.
Man, मेरे पास भी बहुत feelings है. मैं feelings ही felt it करती रहती हूँ. मेरे feltings इतने सारे हैं ना अंदर, तो मैं क्या बताऊँ आपको? तो
amazing. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Of course, you know where to follow Kusha Kapila, and you can follow me at Priyam Saha. Kusha, where they can follow you.
Come, let's take a picture also.
Okay, let's do it.